Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dede Nashtabrayesha Bhadresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 14, performance of the Vrindavan pastimes, text 66 onwards. So this was after Rath Yatra and after the Lord danced at the Gundicha temple. Then he went to a place called Aitota and took rest for the night. Advaitadi Bhakta Gana Nimantrana Kaila Mukhya Mukhya Nava Jana Navadina Kaila. For 9 days, 9 chief devotees, headed by Advaita Acharya, got an opportunity to invite the Lord to their homes. Ara Bhakta Gana Chaturmasa Yat Dina Ek Din Kare Karela Bandan. During the 4 months of the rainy season, the remaining devotees extended invitations to the Lord for 1 day each. In this way, they shared invitations. Chari Masir Din Mukhya Bhakta Banti Nila Ara Bhakta Gana Avasarana Paila. For the 4-month period, all the daily invitations were shared among the important devotees. The rest of the devotees did not get an opportunity to extend an invitation to the Lord. Ekadina Nimantran Kare Duitine Mili Ei Mat Mahaprabhur Nimantrana Keli. Since they could not get 1 day each, 2 or 3 devotees combined to extend an invitation. These are the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's acceptance of invitations. Prata Kale Snana Kari Dekhi Jagannatha Sankirtane Nitya Kare Bhaktagana Satha. After taking his bath early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go see Lord Jagannath in the temple. Then he would perform Sankirtan with his devotees. Kabu Advaite Nachaye, Kabu Nityanande, Kabu Haridase Nachaye, Kabu Achyutanande. By chanting and dancing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu induced Advaita Acharya to dance. Sometimes he induced Nityanand Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, and Achyutanand to dance. Kabu Vakreshware, Kabu Are Bhakta Gane, Tri Sandhya Kirtan Kare, Gundicha Prangane. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged Vakreshwar and other devotees in chanting and dancing. 3 times daily, morning, noon, and evening, he would perform Sankirtan in the yard of the Gundicha temple. Wow. Vrindavane Aila Krishna, Ei Prabhur Kyana, Krishna Ravirah Spurti Aila Vasana. At this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt that Lord Krishna had returned to Vrindavan. Thinking this, his feelings of separation from Krishna subsided, because Jagannathji was in Gundicha temple. Radha Sangya Krishna Lila Haila Gyane Rasa Magna Prabhu Haila Apane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also thinking of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and he remained personally immersed in this consciousness. Nano Dhyane Bhakta Sange Vrindavana Lila Indradyumna Sarovare Kare Jal Khela. There were many gardens near the Gundicha temple, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees used to perform the pastimes of Vrindavan in each of them. In the lake named Indradyumna, he sported in the water. So that Indradyumna Sarovar is from where devotees brought water to bathe, to clean Gundicha temple. So in that lake, he took all the devotees and they had water pastimes. Apane sakal bhakte sinche jal diya, sab bhakta gana sinche chodike bediya. The Lord personally splashed all the devotees with water, and the devotees surrounding him on all sides also splashed to the Lord. कबु एक मंडल कबु अनेक मंडल, जल मंडूक वाद्य सबे बाजाए करताल. While in the water, they sometimes form one circle and sometimes many circles. And while in the water, they used to play cymbals and imitate the croaking of frogs. So just like all the Gopsakhas of Krishna and Balram would do that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is playing the same pastimes. दुई दुई जने मेली करे जल राना, केहा हारे केहा जिने प्रभु करे दर्शन. Sometimes two would pair off to fight in the water. One would emerge victorious and other defeated, and the Lord would watch all this fun. Advaita Nityananda Jala Fela Feli Acharya Hari Apache Kare Gala Gali. The first sporting took place between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu, who threw water upon each other. Advaita Acharya was defeated, and he later began to rebuke Nityananda Prabhu, calling him ill names. विद्यानिधिर जल केली स्वरूप रसाने, गुप्त दत्ते जल केली करे दुई जाने. Swarup Damodar and Vidyanidhi also threw water upon each other. And Murari Gupta and Vasudev Datta also sported in that way. Shrivas Sahit Jal Khele Gadadhara, Raghav Pandit Sane Khele Vakreshwara. Another duel took place between Shrivas Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit, and yet another between Raghav Pandit and Vakreshwar Pandit. Thus they all engaged in throwing water. Sarvabhauma Sange Khele Ramanand Rahe, Gambhirya Gela Dohar, Haila Shishupraye. Indeed, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya engaged in water sports with Sri Ramanand Rai, and they both lost their gravity and became like children. Mahaprabhu Tanduhara Chanchalya Dekhiya, Gopinath Acharya Ki Chukahena Hasiya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the exuberance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Ramanand Rai, he smiled and spoke to Gopinath Acharya. Pandit Gambhir Dohe Pramanika Jana Bala Chanchalya Kare Karavar Jana. Tell the Bhattacharya and Ramanand Rai to stop their childish play, because they're both learned scholars and very grave and great personalities. Gopinath kahe tomar kripa mahasindhu, uchalita kare jabe tar ek bindu. Gopinath Acharya replied, I believe that one drop of the ocean of your great mercy has swelled up upon them. Meru Mandar Parvat Dubai Yathatha, E Dui Ganda Shaila, Ihara Kakatha. A drop from the ocean of your mercy can drown great mountains like Sumeru and Mandar. Since these two gentlemen are little hills by comparison, it is no wonder that they are being drowned in the ocean of your mercy. Shushka Tarka Khali Khaite Janma Gela Jahara, Tare Lila Mritu Piyao, E Kripa Tomanga. Logic is like a dry oil cake from which all the oil has been extracted. The Bhattacharya passed his life in eating such dry cakes, but now you have made him drink the nectar of transcendental pastimes. It is certainly your great mercy upon him. Hasi Mahaprabhu tabe Advaita anila, Jalera upera tare Shesha Shaya kaila. After Gopinath Acharya finished talking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and, calling for Advaita Acharya, made him act like the Sheshnag bed. Apane tahar upar karila shayan, Shesha Shai Lila Prabhu, Kaila Prakatan. Lying down on Advaita Acharya, who was floating on the water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated the pastime of Shesha Shai Vishnu. Advaita Nijya Shakti Prakat Kariya, Mahaprabhu Laya Bhule Jalete Bhasiya. Manifesting his personal potency, Advaita Acharya floated about on the water, carrying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ei mata jala krila kari katakshana, ai tota aila Prabhu Laya Bhaktagana. After sporting in the water for some time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his place at Aitota, accompanied by his devotees. Puri Bharti Adiyat Mukhya Bhakta Gana Acharya Nimantrane Karila Bhojan. Parmanand Puri, Brahmanand Bharti, and all the other chief devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took lunch at the invitation of Advaita Acharya. Vaninatha Arayat Prasadhanila Mahaprabhur Ganesai Prasad Khaila. Whatever extra prasadam was brought by Vaninath Rai was taken by the other associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Aprane ashi kaila darshan nartana nishate udyane ashi karila shayan. In the afternoon, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the Gundicha temple to visit the Lord and dance. At night, he went to the garden to take rest. Aradina ashi kaila Ishwara darshana prangane nitya gita kaila katakshan. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also went to the temple of Gundicha and saw the Lord. He then chanted and danced in the yard for some time. Bhakta Gana Sangye Prabhu Dhyane Ashiya Vrindavana Vihara Kare Bhakta Gana Lahe. Accompanied by his devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went into the garden and enjoyed the pastimes of Vrindavan. I just want to make sure. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has pointed out that this Vrindavan Vihar, the pastimes of Vrindavan, does not refer to Krishna's mixing with the gopis or the transcendental mellows of Parkiyaras. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Vrindavan Lila in the garden of Jagannath Puri did not involve association with women or with other people's wives in the fashion transcendently demonstrated by Shri Krishna. In his Vrindavan Lila, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conceived of himself as an assistant of Srimati Radharani. When Srimati Radharani enjoyed the company of Krishna, her maidservants were very pleased. One should not compare Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Vrindavan Vihar in the gardens of Jagannath with the activities of the Gauranga Nagaris. So Gauranga Nagaris, as we know, they are Sahajiya skirt. And so Nagari means the enjoyer. So Gaurang Nagari means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of enjoyer. But that's not true. Mahaprabhu was always in the mood of servant. So then they get all the conclusion of scriptures wrong, and they name as Gauranga Nagaris. Means actually they want to enjoy themselves. They don't want to be serving. They don't want to serve. They want to be the enjoyers. But if they say we want to enjoy it, then nobody will believe them. They say Gaurang Nagari, Mahaprabhu was enjoying and we are enjoying in his footsteps. Then everybody, yeah, it makes sense because then you are bona fide. But that's not bona fide. That's why we have to be very careful about who we are following. And are we following according to the scriptures or not? That's the most important. Vrikshavalli Prafulita Prabhura Darshane Bring Peak Gai Vaye Shitala Pavane. There were multifarious trees and creepers in the garden, and they were all jubilant to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, the birds were chirping, the bees were buzzing, and a cool breeze was blowing. Prativrikshatale Prabhu Kare Nartana Vasudeva Datta Mata Kare Nagayana. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced beneath each and every tree, Vasudeva Datta sang along. एक एक वृक्ष तले एक एक गान गाए परम आवेश एक नाचे गौर राय. As Vasudev Datta sang a different song beneath each and every tree, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced there alone in great ecstasy. Tabe Vakreshwar Prabhu kahila nachite, Vakreshwar nache Prabhu lagila gaite. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then ordered Vakreshwar Pandit to dance, and as he began to dance, the Lord began to sing. And as we know, Vakreshwar Pandit was such a great dancer. He could dance for 72 hours straight without stopping, without taking rest, without even eating, anything. He would dance for 72 hours straight. So Mahaprabhu asked him to dance, and Mahaprabhu started to sing. Prabhu sange swarupadi kirtaniya gaye, dik vidik nahi jnana premera vanyay. Then devotees like Swarup Damodar and other Kirtan performers began to sing along with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Being inundated with ecstatic love, they lost all consideration of time and circumstances. And singing is of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's it. But if Mahaprabhu is singing, so what would be his mood? Mood of Radharani. So Radharani singing for Krishna, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what would be the consciousness behind that singing? What would be the emotions, the feelings, the sentiments behind that singing? We can't even imagine. Ei mat katakshan karivana lila, Narendra sarovare gela, karite jal khela. After those performing pastimes in the garden for some time, they all went to a lake called Narendra Sarovar, and there enjoyed sporting in the water. Jal krida karipuna aila udyane, bhojan lila kaila prabhu laya bhakta gane. After sporting in the water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to the garden and accepted prasadam with the devotees. Navadin Gundichate Rahe Jagannath, Mahaprabhu Aiche Lila Kare Bhakta Saath. For 9 continuous days, His Lordship Sri Jagannath Dev stayed at the Gundicha temple. During this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also stayed there and performed the pastimes with his devotees that have already been described. Jagannath Vallabhanam Bada Pushpa Ram Navadin Karin Prabhu Tathai Vishram. The garden of his pastimes are very large and was named Jagannath Vallabh. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his rest there for 9 days. Hera Pancha Mira Din Aila Janiya Kashi Mishra Kahe Raja Shayatna Kariya. Knowing that Hera Panchami festival was drawing near, King Prataprudra attentively talked with Kashi Mishra. So, although Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote for 9 continuous days, Lord Jagannath stayed at Gundicha temple, but this Hera Panchami happens on the 5th day of Rath Yatra. Kalya Hera Panchami Habe Lakshmi Ravi Jaye Aise Utsav Kara Jain Kabu Nahi Hai. Tomorrow will be the function of Hera Panchami or Lakshmi Vijay. Hold this festival in a way that it has never been held before. The Hera Panchami festival takes place 5 days after the Rath Yatra festival. Lord Jagannath has left his wife, the goddess of fortune, and gone to Vrindavan, which is the Gundicha temple. Due to separation from the Lord, the goddess of fortune decides to come to see the Lord at Gundicha. The coming of the goddess of fortune to Gundicha is celebrated as Hera Panchami. Sometimes this is misspelled as Hara Panchami among the Ativadis. The word Hera means to see. So Lakshmi ji and her associates or her servants come to see Jagannath ji at Gundicha, and refers to the goddess of fortune going to see Lord Jagannath. The word Panchami means the fifth day and is used because this takes place on the fifth day of the moon. So Lakshmi Ji comes, and it's again every festival at that time. It's just wonderful festival. Never seen these kind of um, celebrations anywhere else like we see at Jagannath Temple or during Rath Yatra. So on this fifth day, what happens is Mahotsav karataiche vishesha samhara deki Mahaprabhu riyaiche hai chamatkara. King Prataprudra said, hold this festival in such a gorgeous way that upon seeing it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be completely pleased and astonished. Thakurera bhandare yara amara bhandare chitra vastra kinkini yara chatra chamare. Take as many printed cloths, small bells, umbrellas, and charmers as there are in my storehouse and in the deity's storehouse. Dhwaja vrinda pataka ghantiya karaha mandana nana vadya nritya dolai karaha sajana. Collect all kinds of small and large flags and ringing bells, then decorate the carrier and have various musical and dancing parties accompanying it. In this way, decorate the carrier attractively. Dvigun karyakara sava upahara rath jatra haite jaiche hai chamatkara. You should also double the quantity of prasada. Make so much that it will even surpass the Rath Yatra festival. After all, Lakshmi Ji is going to visit Lord Jagannath. Seita kariha prabhu laya bhakta gana swachande asiya yeche karena darshan. Arrange the festival in such a way that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may freely go with his devotees to visit the deity without difficulty. Pratha Kale Mahaprabhu Nija Gana Laya Jagannath Darshan Kaila Sundrachale Jaya. In the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates with him to see Lord Jagannath at Sundarachal. The Sundarachal is also, no, Gundicha temple is also known as Sundarachal. So Sundarachal is a Gundicha temple. The temple of Jagannath at Jagannath Puri is called Nilachal. And the temple at Gundicha is called Sundarachal. नीला चले आइला पुनः भक्त गण संगे देखिते उत्कंठा हेरा पंचमी रंगे. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal devotees returned to Nilachal with great eagerness to see the Hera Panchami festival. Kashi Mishra Prabhu re bahu adhar kariya swagana sahabhala sthane vashaila laya. Kashi Mishra received Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great respect, and taking the Lord and his associates to a very nice place, he had them seated. Rasa Vishesh Prabhu re shunite man haila, Ishat hasiya Prabhu swarupe puchila. After taking his seat, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to hear about a particular mellow of devotion service. Therefore, mildly smiling, he began to question Sarup Damodar. So actually this pastime, when he starts questioning Sarup Damodar, and then Shrivas Thakur also jumps in, and the associates of Lakshmi Ji, and they have their pastime. It will take some time. I think I'll take it up tomorrow. We'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Jai Jagannath.
Really, Jai Jagannath.
जगन्नाथ रथ यात्रा की जय. हम तो यहीं बैठे बैठे यात्रा में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं. थैंक यू प्रभु जी.
ये सब देखना चाहिए. I mean, this happens after Rath Yatra, so one has to stay.
चलो,
till
we'll make a program next year.
ठीक है. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.